Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story.
Name.
I am the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong.
I see. And what makes you so sure?
Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheep, and pigs. That's just the way we are.
Can we stick to the story, please?
If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, this whole big bad wolf thing is wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar.
Way back in Once Upon a Time, a wolf was making a birthday cake for his dear old granny.
I had a terrible sneezing cold.
He ran out of sugar.
So I walked down the street and asked my neighbor for a cup of sugar.
Now, this neighbor was a pig.
And he wasn't too bright either.
He had built his whole house out of straw.
Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw?
So, of course, the minute he knocked on the door, it fell right in. He claimed he didn't want to just walk into someone else's house.
So I called, little pig, are you in?
No answer. He was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake.
That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze.
The whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail.
He had been home the whole time.
It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw.
So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there.
He was feeling a little better.
But I still don't have my cup of sugar.
So he went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother.
He was a little smarter, but not much.
He had built his house of sticks.
I rang the bell on the stick house.
Nobody answered.
Mr. Pig, are you in?
Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm trimming the hairs on my chinny chin chin.
He had just grabbed the doorknob when he felt another sneeze coming on.
Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze.
You're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's.
When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor.
Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out and open.
So I did the only thing there was to do.
He had dinner again.
Think of it as the second helping.
He was getting awfully full, but his cold was feeling a little better.
But I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake.
So he went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother.
He must have been the brains of the family.
He had built his house of bricks.
I knocked on the brick house.
No answer.
I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had the whole sack full of sugar.
And he wouldn't give him even one little cup for his dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake.
What a pig.
He was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when he felt his cold coming on.
I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again.
Then the third little pig yelled,
And your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy.
When we drove up, of course he was trying to break down that pig's door. And that whole time he was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene.
The rest, as they say, is history.
My partner and I found out about the 2 pigs he ate for dinner. We figured a sick guy gonna borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting.
So they jazz up that story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf.
That's it, the real story. He was framed.
But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar?